to welcome you all to Of Sorrow and Clay, a Call of Cthulhu one-shot adventure. Tonight we've got 5 characters with us. We have 4 members of the Taft family: Blaine Taft, his sister Lorelei, their younger siblings Pistol and Faith, and Lorelei's husband Eugene. Let me grab my notes real quick. Oh, 1 second, sorry. Deep in the central Appalachian highlands, Carson Taft has gone missing at the age of 89. He just got up and walked out, saying, "Best go see Sadie, she'll be waiting." Or so his neighbor Jack tells it. The brooding mountain forests of the holler where Sadie, Carson's first wife, went missing 45 years earlier are treacherous and no place for a foolish old man. Worried, Carson's neighbor Jack has contacted Lorelei to come back home and help look for the old bastard. It's been years since you've been back to that old shack, but he's family, right? What else can you do? The smell of the holler takes you back to your childhood as the pine needles grind up under Eugene's truck. The shack is still ringed with your father's rusting collection of junk that sits in the knee-length grass, like forgotten offerings to this old place, which you and the other kids made into forts and dens. The old bastard always said he'd clear it all out, but he never did. All Tafts grew up in this shack, and it has stood here as an enduring sanctuary for the family to always call home, even if it wasn't much to look at. The rough-hewn timbers of its walls are capped with a roof of slivered wood shale. The familiar stain covers one side, running from the old pipe of the wood burner which protrudes skyward. Its rust-eaten steel catches the tuneless whistle of the wind, which always makes you shiver. All is as familiar as if you were here yesterday. The only missing piece of the memory is the old man hollering about some damn thing or other. Gone for some days now, or so his neighbor Jack tells it. You expect him to come out the front door any minute, but all it does is bang gently in the ill-fitting frame. And here you are at Paul's shack. You step out of Eugene's truck and look at the old place. It's full of memories. Some good and some bad. How do you proceed?
Wow. Sure has been a long time since we've been here.
Never thought I'd be back again.
Lorelei, how long's it been?
I've lost count. I can't even remember. Pistol, Faith, do you know?
Well, it'd have to be at least a handful of years, about 3 years.
Yeah, about 3 or 4 years, I think.
Well, I'll tell you this. Old man didn't do her no favors. It's in rough shape.
Blaine, you're the first one in. Entering the house, a subtle odor of soured milk creeps up behind the musty dust. Motes swirling in the shafts of daylight washing through old salvaged windows, their lintels cluttered with lucky keepsakes that your pa Carson has found over his decades. The shack's main room is lined with sun-faded newspaper and dominated by the family table at its center. Around it, the Tafts have fought, cried, and laughed together. Now on it sits Carson's hunting rifle and one bullet, lined up next to an empty bottle that reeks of moonshine. Blaine, what do you do?
Well, I think I might take that moonshine and give it a sniff, and if it doesn't smell too bad, maybe I'll give it a taste.
It smells like your pa's old recipe. As you smell it, it brings back memories. The old man smelled like this always. And that sour mash scent with that sharp bitterness is like an old memory coming home. You slip it into your pocket, knowing that, if nothing else, perhaps you can use it as bait to lure your pa. You know he's never far from a bottle. Give me a spot hidden roll, Blaine.
Hmm.
Do you want to push that? That's a terrible roll.
Yeah, I'll push it.
Nice.
That's a better roll. When you come in, you notice that all the newsprints, they're faded, apart from one section of the wall which isn't. It looks as though someone has recently taken off sheets of newsprint. And below it there's an article that kind of catches your eye. Let me give you a handout here. Let me make this visible so you all have access to it. What do you make of this, Blade?
Well, I guess I'd figure something would happen like this, and I'll pass that article over to either Eugene or Laura Lee, whoever's closer.
Now, you've heard of Sadie Taft. Your pa never talked about her, but you heard a neighbor mention her once, and your pa shut him down. You reckon Sadie Taft was your pa's first wife, before you were born, before he married Annabelle, your mother. Who do you give that note to Lorelei?
Lorelei or Eugene, whoever's closer to me.
Probably
Yeah, I
Lorelei.
guess. Yeah. Lorelai takes the note and reads it, and she's like, "What? What's he doing putting this up on the wall?"
Give me an intellect roll.
Okay. Let's see here. Well.
Yeah, you're not sure why he would have put this on the wall. Do you want to push that or spend luck?
I can push it.
Okay.
That's just rolling again,
Yeah,
right?
yes, just go ahead and re-roll.
Oh.
So you are not sure what this is about, but you are disturbed to read that it mentions that your pa's first wife had left the house having fallen pregnant. And you'd never heard this before. And you're going to take 1 point of sanity loss as you read about some of your pa's hidden history. Now, Eugene, you would be there next to your wife, to Lorelei, and you see her somewhat disturbed by reading this message up here on the wall. What's your reaction to that?
Lorelei, what's the matter, darling?
You know, he never really talked about her. I just don't understand what this is about. He never answered any questions when we asked him.
I'm sure all this is going to pan out all right. Don't you worry.
Well, I don't know. Now he's missing. She went missing. Doesn't seem good.
It is mighty uncharacteristic of your pa to leave his moonshine and be reading the newspaper.
You know, I might not have loved this house, but he sure did, so I just wish I knew what was going on.
Faith and Taft, the two of you come into the house and see your older siblings and your older sister's husband in the house, looking around. Faith, give me a spot hidden roll.
Man, these dice are just not being too
No.
kind tonight.
Do you want to push that, Faith?
Yeah, I'll push that. Oh, it was one
missed it by
point
one.
off.
And if you push the roll, you cannot use luck,
Yeah.
so you are stuck with that 46. You come in, and this place is a bit of a pigsty. It's always been like that. But even after having been many years since you've been here, you're still a little bit disgusted by how bad this looks. Now, Pistol, you come in, it don't bother you much at all. For some reason, the dust and the grime and the dirt and the things in disarray don't seem to affect you. Give me a spot hidden, Pistol.
Yeah, it smelled just like it used to. No place like home.
Oh, there we go. There's a wood stove, and it's a little chilly in here. You go over to see if there's any coals in the stove, and as you do, you notice a scrap of paper on the stove, and it looks like the old man was trying to burn something to light his fire.
Well, I don't be.
Let me
Yeah.
make that visible to everyone here.
Yeah, I think Pistol would raise it up. Well, I'll be. I mean, look at this. It looks like Paul tried to burn something.
Who would you show that to?
I think I like raised it out like towards the group, but probably to Blaine, my eldest brother.
Let me take a look at that.
So Blaine, you didn't know anything about any tests that your pa might have been undertaking.
Oh,
No, he never mentioned anything like that. Seems like, well, it says Dr. Franklin. Do I recognize that name?
Give me an intellect roll.
Oh my god.
Oof. You're racking your brain, but that name does not ring a bell. Do you ask the group assembled here?
Yeah, anyone here know of Dr. Franklin?
About to say, yes, we could probably check as a group, right?
Yeah.
Well,
That was just a flat
I-
intelligence.
I
Wasn't it?
suppose I better tell you all now. Pa was ill. I took him to the hospital for tests. He didn't want to go, but I insisted. I didn't hear the results, but I remember the look the doctor gave me after the examination, and it wasn't good.
Well, ill? What kind of ill?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure what kind of tests they were running on him, but I know he wasn't well.
Well, this paper here says regretfully. I can't make out the rest, so I can't imagine it'd be good news here.
That's a strange signing off. I guess that's just the second paragraph. The coming.
There is one door in this room, and you all know it leads into Pa's bedroom. The door is shut.
Well, reckon we better take a look in here just in case.
Behind the only door leading from the main room is Carson's bedroom. Entering, the pungent stench of filth and illness pushes out past you, with blue-green blowflies making good their escape. The fat flies have gorged themselves on the room's contents, and the bed sheets are stained brown with sweat. On the floor, a crusty chamber pot has been overturned, its smells mingling with that of rotting food and spoiled milk. There is a box amongst the filthy bed sheets, and Carson's favorite boots are still set next to the end of the bed.
Lorelei, your Paul. I think he's gone missing without his boots.
I think he's gone missing without a lot of things.
We better find this old man. Fast.
Well, he's got to have left some kind of a trail. It doesn't seem like he was, in a good state when he left.
Now, Lorelei, you know that someone summoned you here. Who was that?
Was it Jack?
It was
That
Jack,
his-
yes.
Yeah.
Carson's neighbor.
Yes. It is the 1920s. I have to remember the time. Do we know if he is, like, around? Is he coming by the house?
You're not sure where he lives. It's got to be nearby. He has always been called Pa's neighbor, and you think you know maybe where it is. It's about a half a mile from here. Your eyes linger over that box on the bed with the bed sheets, and peering at it, you are dismayed to find a photograph. This is a photo of your wedding to Eugene. And on the back, the word family is written in large letters. This is in your pa's broken writing, as he's not a very educated man. Before he left this house, he must have been looking through old memories of better times.
Interesting. I think Lorelei holds it up to Eugene, and it's just like, our wedding picture is here in this mess.
Wow. Don't seem like it was that long ago.
12 years.
Wow, 12 years. That sure is a long time.
Pistol. Through the dusty windows of the house, you see a figure moving at the back of the property. Darting through the trees, lingering near the outhouse.
Awful strange. All right.
You see a man. This fella.
Well, that must be the neighbor.
It's odd. We better go talk to this fella. Ain't got no business poking around, especially near the outhouse.
Yeah, it is awful strange.
Hopefully it's Jack.
Who goes out to greet him?
I think Pistol went out as soon as he recognized it was like if you could see a guy's face, it's not like he's you gotta greet him, man.
As you go out, you see him standing near the outhouse. Well, howdy there. You must be old Carson's kids. I'm Jack, his neighbor.
Afternoon, Jack. Pleasure to meet you.
Well, thank you for coming. I'm worried about my friend. He and I, we've been in the business together, and he up and left, and I'm worried he might have done something foolish.
When was the last time you spoke to him?
Oh, about 4 or 5 days ago, I suppose. Now, Lorelei, give me a spot hidden roll.
Okay. Oh, there it is.
Nice.
Ooh.
You notice that Jack is standing at your mother's grave. This grave was dug by Carson himself, and is now overgrown and unkempt. Jack's standing near this as though paying his respects. He takes off his hat and holds it in his hands. You're Carson's daughter. I asked for your help, and I'm hoping you can help me. There's rumors that some old witch in the woods, Jenny Bishop. There's rumors Jenny took him. She's an evil woman, shouldn't be trusted. Your ma was a kind mother. I worry Jenny's maybe getting her hooks into your pa.
Getting her hooks into him, how? Does this have to do with his illness?
I didn't know he was ill. He hadn't told me nothing.
He didn't tell a lot of us.
No, he's a private man. I'm worried about your pa. I think I might know where he might have gone. There's some old, and he kind of looks around left and right. There's some old shining steels in the woods. I can show you where they are.
That'd be great.
Y'all here with the rest of your family? All Carson's kids?
Oh yeah, of course.
All right. Do you have any questions for Jack before we advance the dialogue here?
Eugene will pop up. He says, now, you mentioned before that you were in a business. You had this business with
Yes.
Carson.
Yes,
I
sir.
assume that's shining.
It's shining. It's private business, but a man's got to do what he can and make money, and liquid gold's the best there is. Old Carson, he had the best recipe in these parts. And Pistol, you would know that to be true.
Oh yeah.
Before we leave, Eugene wants to just head back in the house real quick, and knowing that we're heading out towards some areas where there might be some stills and possibly some danger, he's gonna just take that hunting rifle and sling it over his shoulder, just in case.
Yeah, I can add that onto your character sheet. Give me 1 second.
Oh yeah, Lorelai has another question too for Jack.
Yes.
Oh, do you know anything about Pa's first wife, Sadie?
Sadie. Oh, that's a name I ain't heard in a long time. Oh, she went missing 45 years ago. They fought like cats and dogs. It was for the best that she left. I ain't heard of her in, well, half my lifetime.
I think Lorelai just kind of takes that in and sits with it.
As you are outside, you hear a knocking on the door to the shack. You guys are around the back talking to Jack, but someone is at the front door.
Well, I guess it would be rude not to get the door.
So Faith, you gonna go
Yeah,
up to the front door?
I'll see who's there.
Eugene will follow behind her.
There is a young woman at the door. She looks at Eugene and says, "Well, hello, Eugene." And Eugene, you know this woman. You know her very well, and it makes you a little bit nervous seeing her here. In her hands, she's holding a little brooch made of horn, and she says, "I brung something for Carson. He promised me some shine in exchange for something my granny used to use to ward off evil spirits back in the day." And she kind of shrugs her shoulders a little bit and lowers her head, her eyes looking up at Eugene. Now, Faith, you know this woman. This is Nora Baker. She works at the same clinic as you. You're on very friendly terms.
Well, Nora, Carson's gone right now. You ain't got no other business here.
Well, you got any shine left here? I'll give this to you.
Hey, Pistol, you still got that shine?
Pistol, you would know that. Actually, Pistol, give me an intelligence roll. We'll see if
Fair.
you recall.
Ooh.
Nice. You know, there's a loose board outside on the back of the house where Carson would keep his supply hidden, and if you go check it, there are 2 bottles there.
Yeah, well, I might know about something. Are you sure that's wise though?
Listen, I just wanna get Nora out of here as fast as possible. We got business to
I bet
attend
you
to.
do.
Well, we'll call it a favor. And I guess, yeah, Pistol will go off to that board. Hopefully out of sight of the others. I think this is like a little secret, hopefully.
While you head over there, Nora kind of sidles up next to Eugene and, hey Eugene, and Lorelai, you see this is she's being a little overly friendly.
I think Lorelai walks up and is like, "Hey, how's it going?"
Oh, you must be Lorelai. It's going. Gosh, you're prettier than Eugene said.
Well, thank you. You're not so bad yourself.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, Nora, this is Eugene's lovely wife, Lorelai. They've been married for 12 years, you know.
12 years, happily married. My goodness.
Years, probably. We got married when you were what, about to start school, maybe.
Oh, yeah. I guess you are older than me.
And wiser.
Well, that may be, but either way, they say it's the young dogs that hunt nowadays. The old dogs stay back and just chew on the bone.
Well,
Now, ladies, there's no need to abandon our niceties. Let's mind our manners, shall we?
yes, let's mind our manners, Eugene.
You're right, Eugene. I'm sorry. I forget myself. Here, and she holds out that horn brooch. Does Eugene take it?
Yeah, I reckon I do.
All right. Let me put it on your character.
I think Lorelai sees this and goes, "Oh, that's a pretty trinket. Did you bring enough for the whole family?"
No, I only brought the one. My gran made it. This ain't no gift. This is in exchange for the shine.
The shine.
Does Pistol finds those 2 bottles in there? Does Pistol come back with the shine?
Ideally, yes. Coming back, I think he'd probably see the tension in the room and just chuckle a little. Well, if there ain't nothing to break tension like a good trade deal, although I don't know if I'd call this one good, I think he'd hand the shine to Eugene just to have a little fun with it.
Eugene will grab it begrudgingly, head over to Nora and say, here's what you came for. That'll conclude our business for the day.
She takes it, and she leans in and whispers, "My granny says this'll keep you safe in the woods. There's been rumors for years now, people going missing in there. And y'all best watch out for that old witch here. That witch lives out in these parts. Carson probably gone to see that old witch too. That stupid old bastard's always messing with things he didn't understand."
Well, I will make a mental note of that. I sure do appreciate it.
Much obliged. I'll see you around, Eugene.
I doubt it, Nora.
And Nora heads off. She kind of flips her hair a little bit as she's walking, looks back over her shoulder to see if Eugene's keeping an eye on her as she walks. Is Eugene looking her way?
He is not. He has turned his gaze.
Good man. Well, is it time to go now? Can we go after my friend, Carson?
Oh, yeah, I reckon we better go have a look.
Yeah, before Nora gets another idea and comes back again.
Let me change scenes for us here. And I'll pull out tokens just so we've got them here on the screen. The path leading into the dark pine forest of the holler gives way after about an hour to tangled undergrowth where more ancient things grow. Cyclopean Cyclopean oaks that have anchored their roots deep and drunk from the tainted black earth of the mountains. Their canopies yawn wide and shade the floor from the blinding morning sun, with only shifting shafts of sun ever piercing through to the forest floor. Now, heading across the animal paths, you'll have to rely on your tracking to pick up any trail to follow. Let's have Pistol give me a tracking roll.
Okay. Fingers crossed. Oh, that was not quite it.
Not quite there. There's many tracks on the forest floor. You see there's tracks from deer, tracks from maybe a bear here and there. There's even an odd track here and there that looks like a barefoot child.
Dear, that's confusing, ain't it?
Give me, Blaine, give me a navigation roll.
Oh.
Do either of you want to push those rolls?
Yeah, I guess I'll push mine up. I guess I'll probably just like get pretty heavy-handed trying to look at the tracks.
You probably don't want to spend 61 luck points.
No. Might have had a chance to navigate, or with a 2.
Oh. Okay, so that is an extreme success. So you find that those barefooted child tracks are heading in a different direction, kind of down through the trees, through some still, quiet parts of the forest. And you think up ahead, you see smoke off in the distance, maybe a mile distance, like someone's got a campfire or a stove burning. You also find fresher footprints of all sizes from barefoot humans all around. Some of these human prints seem to have long nails or claws on the end of their toes.
Yeah, there's an awful lot of activity around here. This is all pretty fresh, relatively speaking.
Blaine, do you want to push your navigation roll?
Yeah, I'll try it again.
As you're walking, eventually you come upon a stream with slippery stones. And you're going to need to make a dexterity roll to get across that without slipping and doing any damage to yourself.
Is that going to be a dex roll from everyone?
We'll just do from Blaine first, if he's the first to cross. Nice. So you managed
once I made it across, I will wait at the other side, and the rest of you be careful, and I'll hold out my hands to try and help the rest across.
You maybe point out a few spots where the rocks were a little slick or a little bit loose. Who's next to cross?
Well, like I said, be me and Pistol.
All right, Pistol, go ahead and give me a dex roll. You can add a bonus die to that.
Ooh.
You step right on one of those rocks that he pointed out was treacherous, and you want to push that or spend luck?
I'll push it. Does the bonus die stay
It
with
does
push?
stay. Yep, it'll stay.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, what are the odds?
There you go. So you wobble for a minute, but you're young and you're agile. You balance on one foot, you hop onto the next rock and make it across. You make it look easy. Who's next?
Yes,
I'll sort of
Laura.
head to the edge of the riverbank there, and I'll hold my hand out and
Maybe help the ladies across.
help the ladies across.
Lorelai, give me a dex roll with a bonus die.
Sure. Um,
Nice.
Nice.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, you make it look even easier. You know not to step on that rock that teetered when Pistol stepped on it. And now Faith. You take Eugene's hand, he leads you to the edge. You start to walk across. Give me a dex roll with a bonus die.
Oh,
Nice.
That's lucky.
Yeah, you maybe step on that rock and it teeters, but you keep your balance. But that rock, as you step off of it, it rolls into the river, leaving a little open spot there. So Eugene's going to have a little bit of a tougher go. You're not going to have a bonus die. You got a little bit of a larger step you got to make. So Eugene, give me a straight dexterity roll.
Ooh.
nice.
Nice. You managed to get across. You know, you're not a stranger to the woods. You go out and hunt from time to time. You go out on long walks. You're used to doing things like this. Jack, he's an old man, but he's agile, and he gets across with a little bit of help. His boots get a little wet, and he just kind of grins and dusts himself off, makes sure he's good to go. He actually bends down, takes a little sip of the water, takes a little drink for himself, and then you head back down along the path. Now, from here, you can continue on forward the way Jack is pointing out, or there is that smoke that was noticed down to the south, where the forest gets a little still and quiet. And I'm going to change this music. This is like not suspenseful music at all. There we go. Where do you propose
Now,
going?
can we look down and still sort of see if we can see those tracks, those barefooted tracks, which direction they're heading?
Yeah, it looks like they're heading to the west, and you can follow those. That's sort of in the direction that Jack is telling you to go, and then perpendicular to that would be the path down to the smoke that you see. Now, Eugene, you notice that Blaine seems to want to lead. How do you feel about him trying to lead the group? Do you have any issue with that?
I do feel like I'm the head of the family a little bit, so I do feel like I need to be taking the lead.
Yeah, you're Lorelai's wife. You're also, you ain't out here in the woods when you're at work, you have a position of leadership over Blaine. You ain't one to normally take his direction. You're usually the one given direction. So, where do you
I am.
decide the group should go?
Well, Lorelai, you don't think your old man's out here lost, started himself a fire, do you?
No, I doubt that. Not with the
Well-
way he left everything.
Yeah, I don't think that's very likely neither. I reckon we'll just keep following old Jack there, see where he takes us.
After about 30 minutes, you hear a sound out in the woods. You have no idea what's making that sound. And Jack looks around, his eyes wide, and he grows very still and very quiet.
Jack, what the hell is that?
I don't know. I don't know what this is. I think we ought to avoid it.
I think that would be in our best interest.
Let me roll a die here. Faith. As you are walking through the brush, you feel something pulling at your pant leg. And you look down and you see a small hand.
Oh, okay.
It's dirty and grubby. The nails are broken and chipped. It looks to be like about an 8 or 10-year-old child's hand reaching out, touching your foot. And as it touches you, it flinches back and you hear scampering in the weeds and the brush alongside of the path. And then you hear that sound again. Give me a sanity roll, Faith.
Oh no.
You're going to lose 2 points of sanity, please. Do you point this out to anyone else?
Yeah, I think I would.
Who do you point it out to? In
well,
fact, since you failed, anytime you fail a sanity roll, you let out either a little scream, a yelp, you drop something you're holding. There's some sort of quick, spontaneous reaction. How do you think you react?
I think I would have screamed when I saw the hand grabbing me.
Oh, I might have a woman's scream sound effect on here. Let me see. Oh, I do. This is perfect. You hear Faith scream. Who is the first to respond?
I like to think Pistol's probably right next to him.
Yeah, I think her brother would be right there. Faith, what do you say to Pistol?
I think some sort of child just grabbed my leg and it ran off down there and that there's that sound again.
Child, yeah, but didn't we see a child's footprints not so long ago? That sounds about right, Faith. You saw the child?
Well, I saw this little child's hand as it grabbed me, and then it ran off down there.
Well, that ain't right. Child in the woods.
What in tarnation are you talking about, girl? Ain't no kids out here.
I know what I saw.
Eugene, give me a spot hidden roll as you poke around where she said she saw that hand. You see there are some of those childlike footprints here, and it looks as though something was crouched down along the side of the trail, and they head down towards the south.
Hey, Pistol, you still got that rifle of your paws?
Yeah, actually, I do. Yeah. I suppose that's not really like I've got it concealed.
Yeah, you'd have it slung on a sling on your shoulder.
Might want to put a couple rounds in that thing just in case. Ain't nothing natural about this.
Oh, she's loaded. Yeah, I reckon we gotta look. Can't just leave a child out in the woods.
I think Lorelai turns to Jack and she's like, Have you heard of kids in these woods?
I have not, but there are some folk out here that are, it said they're feral, that they ain't been around other people, that these are children of the woods. And Lorelai, you kind of look out at the trees and find how easy it would be to be lost out here. And then you sense rather than hear or detect that there's something behind you. And you turn around and you come face to face with this.
Oh.
And you hear a sound. And it whispers, lets out a little bit of a grunt.
Um.
Ah.
And it's looking right at you.
Eugene, as soon as he soon as he hears this, he turns around and immediately puts himself between this and Lorelei.
I think Lorelei takes like a few steps back to distance herself. But yeah, I don't know. She doesn't seem. I don't think she's composed in this moment. Like,
Give me
No,
a
that's
sanity
terrifying.
roll as you see
Yeah.
this.
For sure. Let's see.
Oh,
What?
Ah,
Maybe she is composed.
You're going to lose 1 point of sanity, but
Okay.
you do not let out a scream. You look at this child and you have conflicting emotions, revulsion and compassion. And compassion seems to win out, and you don't let out a scream or recoil, but it did catch you unawares and by surprise. And Eugene, as you gaze upon this wretched thing, give me a sanity roll as well.
okay. Oh. I'm really affected by this.
Yeah, this is not normal. Oops, I rolled too many of those. Let me take one of those back.
Okay, I think. Well, then Lorelei maybe takes the few steps forward that she took back. Oh wait.
You'll lose 1 point, Eugene, for that, and you let out a little yelp.
Cool, yelp. I guess Lorelei would like slowly approach the child then. Just be like, we're looking for an old man. Have you seen anyone out here? That's an old man.
The child looks at you with its strange, deep eyes. Spittle is dribbling from its mouth, and it shakes its head almost animal-like, lets out another little grunt. It's wearing grubby clothes with holes and tears and stains. It's an old pair of denim pants, a cotton shirt that's ripped and torn in places. This thing has probably foraged on whatever it can find out here in the woods. Looking at the state of its teeth, it's missing most of its child teeth. A few adult teeth are coming in. They're very crooked. They're already showing signs of uneven wear from whatever this has been gnawing on. It reaches into a pocket and pulls out a small folded piece of paper and thrusts it towards your hands.
Okay. I guess she'll take it.
You open it up and you find a photo of you and Blaine as children.
Oh.
On the back, written in your pa's handwriting, is a single word: family. Give me another sanity roll for that.
Okay. Oh boy. What a day.
Nice. You'll lose 1 point for that. And you drop the picture at seeing that. Eugene, you see your wife is... you're already disturbed by what you see, and she just saw something on that paper that made her drop it in almost revulsion, like it was something painful to hold.
Eugene sort of takes a step towards the creature, the cretin, and he belts out, "Go on, get out of here. It's not right to be disturbing a lady like this." Can I roll for intimidation?
You can.
My intimidation is really low. Not even close.
Nope. Do you want to push
Not
that?
even going to try it.
Okay.
Not even going to try to push that.
As you raise your voice, this child cowers a little bit and puts its hands over its head and starts to back into the woods. And then it stops and looks at Lorelei and looks at Blaine and holds out a hand, almost begging or pleading for some sort of human contact. Blaine, what do you do?
I think I'm with Eugene on this one, and I'm going to also tell it to get out of here.
Give me an intimidation roll.
Could I add a bonus die since Eugene already
He's already raised it.
scared it
twice.
off a little?
Yeah, I'll go for that.
Nice.
Nice. Um, how do you scare it off? What seems to be successful?
I think I have that hunting rifle. I'm just gonna sling that off my back and just holding that, raising my voice and tell it to get out of here.
It crouches down on all fours and scampers off into the brush like an animal. Jack, you notice,
Don't
is
come
breathing
back now,
heavily.
you hear?
Yeah, Jack is breathing heavily. He is traumatized by what he has seen. Faith, how has this whole experience been for you?
Well, I think obviously I'm a little freaked out seeing a child here in the woods. But now that it's gone, I'm fine.
As you continue on the path, are you still following those tracks, or are you heading down towards that smoke?
Lorelai, Blaine, what do you think about all this? Think we ought to keep following these tracks here?
Might as well.
As you follow the tracks, let me have everyone just give me a power roll.
Oh.
Actually, I can roll
Yeah,
a
with
bonus die
that horn brooch, you
with
can.
that horn brooch. We'll go ahead and roll with that.
And I'm going to make a roll here. Oh, shoot. Okay. So, Faith. Let's see.
I think Faith's the only one that didn't
Yeah.
The only one
pass.
that failed. And then, do I have one for pistol? Yes, I do. Okay. There's pistol, there's Faith. And then Eugene, you got a regular success, right?
Yeah.
As you are walking down this trail, Faith, you begin to think about things in your life and your love for your pa and the strange things that you've seen today, and it's pushing the limits of your understanding and your love that you have for your pa, for Carson. Pistol, you likewise know that Carson has promised to turn things over to you, or you hope to take over the business for him, and you think maybe that's going to be expedited by his being lost in the woods. That maybe something will happen to him, and while that would be a terrible thing, maybe there's a bright side to this happening. And Eugene, you know the family you married into is a little bit peculiar. You don't have any idea about some of the things you've seen today. This strange thing in the woods, having pictures of your wife as a child and her brother, the word family written on it, same as the picture you seen of your wedding in Carson's shack. Carson's mixed up with these things. You don't know why, but maybe you begin to feel like a true outsider in the family. Everyone else here is blood. You married into it. You're getting dragged into something that maybe you didn't agree to when you said I do. Faith. You begin to doubt if the love you feel for Carson is based on truth or perhaps based on a lie. That maybe he's been leading some sort of secret life. And it's beginning to affect the way you feel about him and your duty out here. Blaine, give me a listen roll. You hear the buzzing of insects out in the woods. Do you want to push that at all?
Yeah, I'll push that.
Oof.
You smell a strange scent on the wind as you walk, and the smell and the buzzing of insects grows stronger and stronger. And soon you come across the corpse of a deer. This deer is split open. All the soft parts have been consumed, the eyes, the tongue, all the internal organs. Some of the hide has been ripped and pulled back, exposing denuded bone and old dried meat. There are bite marks in that meat. And Blaine, give me a spot hidden roll. There is a child's tooth embedded in this haunch of meat. Give me a sanity roll.
That's disturbing. Ooh,
Oh,
not good at all.
not good.
Yeah, this bothers me.
Oh, you lose 4 points of sanity, Blaine, at seeing this. As you continue on for about another 25 minutes, you hear rustling in the brush, and off in the distance, you hear that sound again. Calling out, braying almost.
I think Lorelai taps Jack on the shoulder and is like, are we almost there? Where are we going again?
We're getting close. It's just up ahead. And he seems very cautious, having heard these sounds. And you begin to hear a cacophony, multiple voices crying out in that grunting, guttural sound. And Jack steps close to Faith and says, "Don't worry, little one. We're nearly there." And you find some comfort in his touch.
Eugene sort of pipes up and he says, "Hey, Jack,
Yes,
how
sir.
often you come out here?"
Well, I ain't been out here for a stretch of time. Just whenever Carson and I need to come out and make a batch, but it's been a few months. I don't know about none of this stuff we're seeing here, though. This is all new.
I was about to say, it's mighty suspicious to think that you've never seen any of this.
Give me a psychology roll.
Terrible. Psychology is terrible.
Oh, do you want to push that? You probably
I'm not
don't
even
have
gonna
any
try it.
luck to push. He says,
My psychology is 10.
10%. Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
low. You get the impression he's frightened, and you're starting to feel frightened as well. But he reassures you, it's just up ahead. We'll get to the steel. We're almost there.
All right then.
We'll change scenes. Let me pull out some tokens. Deep into the woods, Jack brings you to a stream that follows the muddy track up to its source in the higher woodlands. The climb ends at a hollow near a waterfall. The crashing water makes it impossible to hear each other speak without raising your voices. The way down to the nook is treacherous as water spray soaks every surface. An old rusting distillery sits within the nook, its copper pipes green with corrosion. A collection of rotting barrels sits nearby. Among them, small child's toys and other detritus litter the area. Blaine and Lorelei, give me an intelligence roll. About Blaine, give me an intelligence roll. Pistol and Faith, I'll have the two of you give me an intelligence roll.
Intelligence, yeah.
Yes. Faith, amongst all the cast off junk that litters here, you see your old rocking horse. You've not played with that for 10 years, but here it is in the still.
I'll pick it up and inspect it, I guess.
Give me a spot hidden roll. It looks just like you remembered it. In fact, as you hold it, you have a fond memory of playing on this horse while Carson washed, while your younger brother played with his slingshot. You think back to happier times. As you're down here with the horse, give me a spot, pistol, give me a spot hidden roll.
Bam.
Do you
I mean,
want?
I could spend the luck, right?
You could
It's not
spend
that
the
far
luck,
off.
or you can push that.
Yeah.
It'd be
I'll just spend the luck.
8 points of luck.
Alright, I spent it.
You notice that there is a cave that leads further into the mountainside. Inside you find piles, beds of rags, crude pictures drawn in chalk. You also notice that in addition to the crude pictures, in the darkness of the cave there are photos of the Taft family all over, with the word family scrawled on them. Pictures of you, pictures of Faith, pictures of Lorelei and Blaine. And from deep within the cave, you hear that terrible grunting sound. Do you go deeper into the cave?
Yeah, well, I'm definitely holding that rifle now. Yeah, I think pistol would probably push forward. I mean, this is pretty disturbing. Probably want to hang out in this sort of specific room.
Eugene sort of hollers into the cave. He says, Pistol, need any help in there, boy?
Well, I heard another one of them damn things, but I've got Pa's old rifle. I think I can handle it.
Eugene,
All
Jack.
right.
Jack comes up next to you and says, Sir, I had motives for bringing your family out here. There's things you need to understand. Carson's been doing evil things. He needs to be stopped. We need to take drastic action. You see these toys, your family's belongings here. Carson has his own secret family out here in the woods. There are dark and old things in these mountains that can offer people many gifts. Carson became a shepherd to those made of rot and mud, and now means to do harm to the forest, drawing up darkness from the bogs. He raised these devils. He made a home for them here, and now he's taken another step, and God only knows what will happen. Carson is dealing with things he doesn't understand. I can't stop him. I'm sorry that I lied to bring you here, but you had to see these things firsthand. Enough to convince you that what Carson and that witch are doing is wrong. They're setting up something at the bogs a few hours from here. Some sort of ritual. Some protection to let them do these deeds in darkness. It must be brought to the light. We must bring light to the woods again, and we cannot let this abide.
That damned old man.
He's a fool.
He's always up to no good.
I know, he's a fool. I'm sorry to have drug you into this, but it's family that got to take care of this. So,
And as far as I'm concerned, Jack, you looked me in the eyes earlier. You lied to me.
he lowers his head. I did, sir. I didn't think there's any way I could bring you out here otherwise.
You fooled me once. Shame on you.
I will not fool
Fool
you
me twice.
again. I
Oh,
will
you
not,
won't.
sir. You're a big man. I'm just old skin and bones. I can't do this myself.
Now, how long have you known about this?
I only found out about 2 months ago, and I meant to go ask Carson about it. I meant to confront him, but then he got wind of it and he left. He's nervous. He knew something was up. We got to stop him before he starts the ritual at the bog.
I can't believe that old fool pawned his kids off on me to raise. Started him another family out here in the woods with a witch.
I know. Go show your wife them kids. Convince her that what your father-in-law's doing is wrong.
I'll have a talk with her. And Eugene sort of steps away from him, steps over to Lorelei. Lorelei, darling, there's something we need to talk about.
What is it?
Old Jack over here, he's convinced that these children are somehow connected to your father in a close manner.
Close manner?
He claims that he's in league with this witch of the woods. These children out here, they're his children.
I mean, I guess that would explain the pictures with family written on it, but do you really believe that?
I don't know if I trust him. He looked me in the eyes earlier and he lied to me.
Well,
But I know you love your old man, but he's always been up to no good in some form or another. Would it really be that far of a stretch?
no. That's the worst part about it is I don't want to believe it, but I could see it.
Now, Jack claims we gotta stop what he started. Said he's up to all manner of evil.
Well, does he know how to stop it?
And Eugene, he'll sort of look over at Jack and nod his head as if to call him over.
Jack steps over. It's true, Lorelei. Everything he said, it's true. We gotta stop your pa. These abominations that him and that witch are making, it ain't right. It's against nature.
But what are we supposed to do?
Him and that witch are setting up something down at that bog, some sort of ritual. He communes with some spirit in the swamps. That's what done it. We got to put an end to it. It can be done. I know. I just don't know. I don't know if we got the strength for it. But I think with all y'all combined, it can happen. I can't do it myself. It has to be family, you see.
Well, we should definitely bring this up to Faith and Pistol and see what they say, but
Go see
I'm
for
in.
yourself. Go down in that cave and see them siblings down there. See for yourself. Some of your pa's stuff be down there. He brung it down to him. He been raising them in secret. Go and see with your own eyes. Take Eugene. Pistol is already down there. Blaine, you gotta see this too. Faith, this might be too much for you. If you don't mind, rest out here with me a while. You don't want to see this. You already saw one of them try to touch your foot. It could get worse for you. You got the mark upon you now.
What does that mean?
It means they'll be coming for you. They want to take your place in the family. They'll kill you if they can. And then they'll become you.
Yeah, I think I'll stay up here.
Sit a spell with me here by the entrance. We'll be safe. They ain't gonna come bother us. They're all holed up in that cave. Something should happen. We let out a shout. Your brothers will come. Blaine
Now,
and
Jack.
Pistol, do you head down there?
Yeah, well, I'm already like a little ways in.
Oh yeah, you're already in the cave. Blaine and Eugene and Lorelei, I should say.
Yeah, in fact, I think Blaine will go and get in front of Pistol, knowing that there's something not right down in this cave.
Eugene, he'll turn to go, but as he does, he looks at Jack, looks him dead in the eye. He says, Jack, you lied to me earlier. If you're lying to me now, right now's your chance. Tell me the truth.
I swear to
Can
you
I,
on the Almighty.
Can I roll a
you the truth.
persuade?
Yes, you can. With a bonus die, because you can either do intimidate or persuade. I'll give you the choice.
Okay, I'll roll persuasion.
Nice. I will not lie to you. They're seeking to take over young Faith here.
All right. That's good enough for me. And Eugene will fall in line with the rest as they go into the cave.
As you head into the caves, you find a large open area. And in this area there are dozens of these siblings in here. And they are cautious and they are timid. Let me pull out a couple tokens. They back away as you come down. And Blaine and Lorelei and Pistol, you see that they're wearing your old clothes. Clothes that were cast off from when you were younger. And these children range in age from 2 or 3 years up to 14 or 15. They're grubby, they're dirty, they're malnourished, but they're living in this cave. There's pictures of all of y'all as children up on the walls, and pictures of you in early adulthood. And some of these young children here have tried to scratch the word family. All they can manage is the first few letters in a hesitant hand. And when they see you, they let out that feeble moan at first that you have grown accustomed to. and they begin to approach with their arms outstretched as though they want to welcome you into their home. Pistol and Blaine in the lead. What do you do?
I think Blaine's pushed his way ahead of me a little. So maybe let him have the initiative. I'm kind of just, I don't want to shoot him necessarily. I don't really know what to do.
Yeah, I think being in the lead, I'm just going to try and shout, get him to back up into this cave. I don't want him to mark any more of us.
Give me an intimidation roll.
I'll push that.
You try and shoo them away, but they back up a little, and then they begin to turn and come around. There's their desire to touch you, to hold you, to feel at kin with you is too great, and they begin to approach, their hands reaching out to touch you as though making first contact. Pistol, what are you doing? As Blaine is yelling at them to get out of here, and they're not listening.
Yeah, I feel like Pistol was initially sympathetic, but then, even if, they're like feral children, I mean, you can't disrespect what we're saying. So he's probably trying to, I think he would start pushing them back with the butt of his gun.
Give me a fighting brawl roll. They will not even try to dodge. Let me roll. Are you being aggressive, or just trying to push them, or are you like rifle butting them?
Yeah, I think I'm like full on butting them. I don't like the whole we're trying to grab you and mob you like rats. It's pretty disturbing.
You hit one hard, and it actually goes down prone on the ground. You hear a crack coming from it as it hits the ground, and you see that it's bleeding profusely from a wound on its forehead. And the other ones don't even look down at it. They just continue to try to surround you. Eugene and Lorelei, what are you doing?
I'm gonna see what Pistol has just done, and I'm gonna sort of follow suit, but I'm still sort of unsure about it, seeing as they're children, and I feel like Eugene probably still feels a little bit like an outsider, so he doesn't really feel like falling in with the group and straight up attacking. So I think he's going to make a fighting throw check on one of them to sort of push him back further.
Yeah, you got it.
And I'm going to use 5 points of luck.
So you kind of grab one by the arms and give it a little shove, not trying to harm it, but to drive it back. And it gets flung back and lets out that feeble little grunt and moan, and starts to get up, and one of the other ones just kind of rushes into its place, reaching out to touch you. They're looking at you, Eugene, with curiosity, as though they do not recognize you, but they recognize the others. Lorelei, what are you doing?
I think she's looking around for something that she might be able to use either as a weapon or to push them back.
Yeah, so there's lots of kind of junk and stuff here. There's a lot of different things that you could avail yourself of, toys and things like that, sticks and broken things. Let me grab a thing here. I'm going to give you an improvised weapon.
Ooh.
That will be in your combat gear. It's just something that you picked up. It could be, maybe it's a little wooden statue of a man or something that they've played with, and It's been painted kind of crudely to resemble a person, but you could use it as a club if you needed to.
Okay. Yeah, I think she just grips that toy tightly. And I think she doesn't even bother with the children. I think she just talks to everyone in her family.
Okay.
And is like, I think now might be a good time to get out of the cave. And I think she starts retreating and then pulling who's in front of her, Eugene. I think she starts pulling him back.
Let's go back to Faith real quickly. You're sitting out here by the mouth of the cave with Jack, and he's talking about what a horrible thing it's been, how awful it has been. And Jack leans in close and says, "Sweet girl, I'm sorry." And his flesh begins to slough off of his bones, becoming mud and clay and moss. He latches onto you, grafting itself to your head, neck, and back, trying to insert its roots and veins under your skin, slowly trying to fuse with you, to grow around and through your body. You need to be strong enough to endure the pain and live. If it fails, something may happen. Give me a strength roll. He wasn't lying when he said they were coming for Faith.
Can I push that roll?
You can push that roll. Let me just put Jack out here. Okay, so Jack got a regular success. You did not. And this music is not very sinister. Let's get something sinister.
Yeah, this is like first night at Hogwarts.
I know. Yeah, that's not what we want. Fire and ash, that sounds more like it. All right, Faith. Skin Crawler overpowers you and begins to insert its roots. You will give me a sanity roll, please.
Yeah.
You will take 5 points of sanity with a success.
Okay.
It will be 1d10 on a failure. So you need to make an intelligence roll. Now what happens, so this is going to be a temporary bout of madness. So you need to make an intelligence roll. If you pass this roll, that's bad. That means that you understand exactly what's happening. If you fail that roll, that means that you block this out and you kind of just retreat back to your safe space. So give me an intelligence roll.
Okay.
Oh,
really?
wow.
Oh.
Extreme success. Okay, you're going to take some physical damage. You're going to take 1d6 points of damage. You'll take 4 hit points worth of damage. And then let me roll to see what your bout of madness will be. It's going to be an 8, which I've got a little page here. Physical hysterics. So you are incapacitated, crying and screaming. That would make sense as this plant creature begins to embed itself into your flesh. The final roll here is going to be an opposed power roll. This will cement the union. If he succeeds here, this is the end of Faith's journey.
Oh, okay.
So you need to make a willpower roll, and he's going to make one as well.
Oh,
Okay, so you both failed. So the struggle is continuing. Where are you at on hit points?
I have 6
You
out
have
of
6
10.
out of 10. Okay. So you hear, everyone in the cave hears this horrible screaming sound coming from the mouth of the cave. And you can hear the screaming begin to get muffled as though something is being shoved into Faith's mouth and nostrils. It's roots and branches being forced into your mouth to try and stifle your cries as well as to embed themselves deep inside your flesh. Eugene and Lorelei, you are closest to the entrance, and Lorelei was wanting to leave anyway. I'll let the two of you begin first. It will take you about 2 turns to get out of the cave if you start running now.
Yep, Lorelei is running.
Okay, Eugene, do you follow?
Eugene's running too.
Blaine and Pistol. Or what do the two of you do?
Yeah, I think Blaine would probably, agree that it's time to retreat. He'd want to take up the rear because he's the one with the gun. I guess Blaine's probably.
I think Blaine's gun has 1 bullet.
Yeah.
I think that's all that was left in that gun that he picked up. I think
He does have one, but yeah, I've got like 6.
I do have my knife if
You have another
if
item
needs be.
that is unique to you. Eugene would know this as a blasting cap. You could throw it down. It would erupt. It would probably take out a few of these siblings if you wanted to go there. So far, they've not tried to hurt you. They just seem to want to touch you.
I might tell Pistol if he wants to head back and go help his sister. I'll watch, or I'll cover us on. I'll catch up.
So maybe like a fighting retreat.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Blaine.
As Eugene and Lorelei begin to run, and Pistol and Blaine slowly retreat, the siblings follow closely. They're not rushing to run up and catch you and tackle you, but they're running after you, and they begin to giggle like children do as they run after you.
No.
Faith, give me another willpower roll.
Whew.
With extreme
Nice.
success.
Oh no!
Okay, this will be
Yes.
good. So that's a fumble for Jack. So
It is.
as he is trying to force his roots inside your body, you find this last reserve of willpower, and you grab and begin to just pull them out. And as they come out, they're taking flesh with them, and your blood is just flowing from dozens of puncture holes where roots and branches are embedded into you. You no longer see this man, Jack, in front of you. It is a mass of moss and sludge and sticks and branches writhing and convulsing. You're going to take some damage as you pull these out. Only 1 point. That's good. What do? You are essentially grappled. You could make a strength roll to try and break free.
Yeah, I'll try that.
Okay. And that's going to be opposed against his strength.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
nice! Another fumble.
Wow, what are the odds?
So you managed to pull yourself free, and you've got just a few feet of distance there. So Lorelei and Eugene, you are near the mouth of the cave, and you can see Faith, and she is still screaming. She is still having that bout of madness, but you can see that she is covered in mud and sticks and pulling bloody branches and moss off of her body. And her face is just a mass of scratches and puncture wounds. Lorelei, what do you do?
She definitely screams. But I think just goes and, is trying to like tear Faith free from this thing.
Perfect. So as you run up there, you can grab Faith and maybe turn her away from this thing that, in fact, you don't see Jack, but this pile of squirming stuff. It's like sludge in a river, just kind of churning and rolling over, but it's on dry ground. Eugene, what do you do? Eugene, what's your action?
My mic's muted. I'm sorry.
No problem.
I've been married into the family for a long time. Do I get the sense that Blaine and Pistol both have a higher rifle, shotgun experience level than I do?
Pistol seems to carry his around as though he's used to using it. He's probably out, shooting squirrels and anything he can get his hands on. He's probably the better of the two of them. I'm just looking at your scores right here. And, yeah, Pistol would probably be the better marksman of the three of you.
All right, so how far is Pistol behind me relatively?
So he's probably about 30 or 40 feet behind you. He's kind of coming up slowly, and he's probably kind of looking down at the siblings and back up and kind of making his way. Hearing the screams of his twin sister will probably spurn him on, and he may leave Blaine to hold the rear as he's driven out of the cave.
All right, so in a moment of adrenaline-fueled clarity, Eugene takes off the horn brooch and tosses it towards Pistol.
Let me give
And,
that to Pistol.
Yells out, "Boy, put that there necklace on. It'll protect you. I'm gonna go help your sister. Better be running fast." And then Eugene will, of all these barrels and things that are laying amongst like the bed of this river, are there any like busted hunks of wood laying around?
Give me a luck roll.
All right. Well, shoot, where's it? Oh, yep, there it is.
Yes, there are.
All right, I'll bend down, pick one up, and I'll start sprinting towards Faith as fast as I can.
Let me give you an improvised weapon as well. There we go. And Blaine, what are you and Pistol doing?
I think Blaine told Pistol to hurry back, help his sister, and Blaine will take care of these creatures in the cave.
They're getting bolder and getting closer, and one of them comes up and is reaching out for the barrel of your rifle, trying to grab it in his hands. Are you going to allow that?
I think I'm gonna hurry and jump back and throw down one of my blasting caps at this group.
Okay, go ahead and roll on your blasting cap, and it'll probably should prompt you to do a fighting throw roll. And I'm going to, yeah, point blank range, perfect. Okay, so it still goes off, but I think the damage is 3d10.
2d10.
2d10. Let me go ahead and roll that. Okay, it does 5.
That's a lot of damage.
That is. It knocks down 2 of them. They fall prone as the booming blast echoes throughout the tunnel. One of them remains on his feet, and he begins to run after you, screaming in fear. Faith, you and the thing known as Jack are locked in combat. Jack is going to try to grab you again. This is an opposed strength roll. Give me another strength roll, please. Oh, you tied. Nice. He doesn't improve his position, but he's back on you. And Lorelei, you're right there. You see this thing going after Faith. Faith, you can take an action, and then we'll go to Lorelei.
Can I just try to distance myself from it, run away from it?
You can. If you want, give me a dexterity roll. And then Lorelei, seeing this thing lunging after Faith, give me a sanity roll.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Faith, you easily are able to kind of slip out of its grasp as it pursues you. You're going to lose, let's see, 1 point of sanity. Please. And then Lorelei, what do you do?
Okay, so Faith has like distanced herself now.
Yes, so you are between Faith and Jack.
Oh, that's a good question. I think she's going to take the club and just kind of try to like hurl it at him.
Okay, give me a fighting throw roll.
Well,
You probably don't have 72 luck to spend.
no.
You throw it at him, and it kind of spins right over the top of him and just narrowly missing, but clatters on the rocks near the waterfall.
Nice.
Eugene, your turn.
All right, so I could probably close the distance between me and
Jack,
the creature.
you can.
Jack. All right, I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna make a improvised weapon attack roll
Perfect.
on him. I would roll fighting brawl first,
Yes.
right?
Yep. And he is going to fight back as his action, or as his reaction. And he needs to get a success to have any effect here.
Oh,
And he does. So he is fights back and actually you'll take 1d4 points of damage. 1 point of damage.
All right.
And then give me an opposed strength roll. So go ahead and give me a strength roll. Ooh. He has you grappled as he sneaks his branches around you, wrapping you up, basically making you restrained. As he begins to try and force the branches into your own body. Eugene, give me a sanity roll.
I'm going to well, I can't spend luck on sanity,
You
can I?
cannot, nope. So, and this one is a D10 when it tries to get you. Oh, 1. Woo!
Nice.
Yeah, 1 point of sanity loss. This is not your first time being eaten by a tree. No problem here. But you do let out a little scream as this happens. Pistol, you make it up and you see Faith just a bloody mess, and Lorelei standing protectively next to her, and Eugene is just being mauled by this clump of moss and branches. There's blood dripping from here. No problem, Lorelei. What do you do, Pistol?
how? Well, I don't want to shoot it with it grappling Eugene. How close can I get?
You can get, if you want to get up close enough to do a point-blank shot, you could. That'll give you a bonus die on it.
Well, I mean, it is like a whirling mass of, forestry, so...
And you wonder what effect your rifle may have on it, but that horn brooch you wear seems to pulse almost with a heartbeat of its own as you get close to this creature.
Oh yeah, I forgot to send the chat with this. With this, I can't give it any boons or whatever. I know it's called something else.
Did you target?
I believe I did,
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. So it looks like it automatically assumed you were in.
Oh.
In
Okay.
Yeah. So
Nice.
if you want to click roll damage on the chat, it should automate that.
Oh. 6 points of damage.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I forgot this is Cthulhu. 6 is kind of like...
6 is a
yeah.
lot. Yeah. So it. Oh, okay. Tell me how you render Jack unconscious. You basically gave him a major wound. he slips out of Eugene's, off of Eugene, and just slumps to the ground, kind of bubbling and churning as this thing has lost most of its power from your shot. And that horn brooch is just blazing with heat.
Yeah. I mean, that brooch certainly helps. I think Pistol, he's no stranger to adrenaline. He's seen things. So he comes up and he sees his priority's faith, but he sees Lorelei by her, so I think he feels pretty safe to just run up. Seeing Eugene there, he's not just going to take a wild shot, but he kind of kneels down, aims at an angle where he couldn't possibly hit Eugene, and he just shoots it. And point blank, you're not going to miss.
Right, yeah.
And this is like a bunch of trees. It's
and there's a huge, spray of moss and mud that goes flying out, and this thing just kind of sloughs down to the ground. So Lorelei is back. Pistol just basically took out Jack with a very incredible rifle shot. Blaine, you've got these siblings kind of swarming after you. Some of them are badly burned and damaged. One is bleeding from Pistol's rifle butt to the forehead. You hear a rifle shot coming from the mouth of the cave. What does Blaine do?
I'm gonna pull out my work knife and just kind of swing it in an arc, try and keep these things back, and then I'm gonna make a dash for the mouth of the cave.
Are you trying to hit one or just trying to intimidate them?
Just trying to scare them off.
Give me an intimidation roll with a bonus die, because you got a knife and you just wounded some pretty severely. Oh man, do you want to push that or spend luck?
I'll push it.
nice.
There we go. You swing the knife and they back up confused, and allows you to get some distance as you head out. Faith, you go next, and then Jack will go.
So he's like unconscious right
Yes.
now. I don't know. Do we have like matches or like...
Give me a luck roll. Yeah, any matches that you might have had have probably gotten wet as you struggled with this thing. You reach into your pockets, you don't feel any matches in there. If there were any, they would probably be wet.
There's probably a lot of like branches around though. Can I like try starting a fire?
Without matches, it's going to be a little tough. How do you propose starting that?
Well, we're in like a forest, so there's probably wood.
Lots of wood. Do you want to gather wood and like put it on him?
Yeah.
Or around
I
it?
guess I could do that.
Yeah, you'd be able to grab some, maybe as you just scramble up the side of the little river here, you'd find some dry kindling, some dry leaves, could bring it down and maybe throw onto him and then hopefully get him burned.
Yeah.
That sound like a good plan? Jack, how much does he have left? Oh, he's got enough. You see Jack begin to twitch spasmodically, and as you throw leaves and other dry goods on him, it's as though he senses what's happening, and you see all of that moss and mud and those branches just sift down into ash that begins to rise and blow away on the wind and head towards the west. And Jack is gone. The horn brooch that Pistol is wearing begins to cool now that it is no longer in the presence of that thing. And Eugene is no longer restrained. Let me fix that. Blaine, you make it out of the cave. You see your family. Faith is bloody and wounded. Eugene has taken some wounds. Faith looks emotionally distressed. Pistol probably got his little cigar in his mouth, is cycling another round into the rifle. Lorelei is standing defensively and protectively near Faith. You hear the shuffling of feet coming up the cave from behind you. What do you do, Blaine?
I think I'm just going to keep backing out of the cave. I'm going to take that little bottle of moonshine I took with me and probably just finish it off. It's been quite a day for Blaine.
Yeah, you throw that down, and it's the sweet escape that you have needed after the events of this day. There still remains the matter of these children, the matter of your paw, and what might have happened. It would seem that Jack was not Jack after all, but something else, something deceptive that has lured you out here to try and take one of you. It tried to take Faith, but failed. Do you continue on to the bog that Jack had mentioned, where he thought Carson might be going? Do you go and find that witch he spoke of, that Nora likewise mentioned? Or what do you do with these children?
Well, now I'm afraid that Jack probably is not the best witness of, credible source and all that. I guess the children are the more pressing matter. Do they seem to be following out of the cave?
Yeah, they're slowly approaching. They're cautious to get out into the light. They're kind of staying in the recesses of the caves, but you can see their faces looking up curiously. One of them is bleeding. A few of them have burns, and you see the blisters forming on their skin, but they're still trying to come out, trying to mouth words to speak, but it's just that horrible grunting, braying sound that just tugs at your heart. Let's go ahead and take like an 8-minute break here, and then we will be right back. Is everyone okay with the break?
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
You charged through the open gate. The flame of the dragon tried to seal my awful fate with a handful of dice. 5 times I rolled 20. The dragon goes down. The DM will bloody. I leave with the princess, a satchel chock full of gold. We head to the tavern where my mighty tale unfolds. Crafted from numbers on living paper. I skip from the mundane to a naval caper. While in real life, my fate isn't spoken. Hero roll of the dice and my fate isn't spoken. The king honored me with the mighty crossbow. It's blessed by the elves, he said. I thank him and I go. The life of a hero, struggling to stay alive. It's worth all the hardship though, 'cause now I'm a level 5. Level 5.
All right, I am back. Is
Welcome.
everyone here?
Welcome back.
Well,
Yeah.
I think we're still waiting on one person?
one person.
Play.
While we are waiting,
No, I'm back.
oh, you're back. Okay. We have an option, or a couple options for what to do. So, we have discovered that Jack is not who we thought he was, and maybe everything he's been telling us has been a lie. We've got these strange children living in the cave that seem to have the belongings and photos of Blaine and Lorelei and Pistol and Faith. Carson is still missing. We've received word that from Jack, who may be an unreliable source, that Carson may be headed into the bog to do some sort of ritual with that witch may be with him. Nora, who may also be somewhat unreliable as she has motives of her own, mentioned that witch Ginny as well, that she thought that's where who Carson was mixed up with. So, how do we proceed?
Eugene looks around. How many barrels do you think are laying around?
Oh, probably a good dozen.
Eugene sort of looks at Blaine and he says, "Blaine, help me grab some of these barrels. We'll stack them in front of the cave. That way, these children can't follow us."
Yeah, I imagine that'll keep them there for a while.
It,
Yeah, it should keep them busy for a little while.
It takes some time, but you are able to do it. The children grunt and give that little braying noise as you head over to block them into the cave. And as you do, you hear that their sounds becoming more and more faded. The cave is blocked up, out of sight, out of mind, as it were. Where do you go now?
Eugene sort of looks around at the family and says, "You all know your pa better than I do. Where do you think he could have headed? I mean, do you think he's more likely to be with the witch, or should we investigate this fire out in the woods?"
I don't know if we know him at all anymore.
Yeah, I got questions myself.
What about?
Well, if
Go ahead, Blaine.
well, if all of this is his doing, maybe he was trying to lead us out to the bog. If that's where Jack was taking us. Might be he's out there.
I mean, Jack turning into what he turned into, and being what he was, I do feel like he was trying to lead us to this witch, if he did in fact have a lot to do with all this. So I'm sure we'd be sure to find answers out there, I think.
Yeah, I'd imagine it would be not too safe. I guess if now that we know that we're in a bit of danger, we can at least approach it with a certain amount of caution.
Yeah, I guess just don't let nobody get within like touch and distance of you, so they could do that melding thing it was trying to do.
I don't really think a witch needs touch and distance to do that.
No, well, I'm not so sure I know what a witch could do.
I'm not sure I want to find out.
So where do y'all propose
Speaking of,
to go?
How do you feel, Faith? I know you took a pretty good hit from that creature.
In fact, how's Faith's sanity? How many more points can you take before you are indefinitely insane?
Right, I have about 2 more sanity points I can lose before I go insane.
And in fact, right now you have what's called underlying insanity. It will last for about the rest of the day. Anytime you lose another point of sanity, there's a chance you'll go into a bout. Of course, that may not matter because you're only 2 points away from indefinite insanity. So, I think any little cricket that comes across your path and startles you may be enough to drive you mad. You're gonna have nightmares about Jack trying to meld with you for years to come.
We could have Faith stay in the back and a few of us scout ahead, and if things look bad, we just keep Faith out of it.
So is the plan to head to the witch's shack in the woods, or to head to the bog?
Things being the way they are, and the things turning out the way they did last engagement we had with anything, I'd like to propose that maybe Blaine, you stay in the back of the group next to Faith, and Pistol, you sort of take the lead with your rifle. Probably best to have someone with a higher caliber weapon at each end.
Well, it'd be my pleasure.
Yep, I'll stay with Faith.
And So, do we want to go into the bog or?
I think
think-
Blaine's vote is on the bog.
Yeah, that's where it wanted us to go, isn't it? Bog.
That's where Jack wanted us to go. But
Yeah.
the witch's shack is where the fire was coming from, right? The smoke.
You believe that to be true.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I myself think going further into the woods probably isn't a great idea. Want to backtrack to this hut?
Lorelai's like, yeah, I don't really know if I want to do what the big tree monster wanted us to do. So she votes for the shack.
So Blaine for the bog, Lorelei for the shack. Where does Eugene? Where does he want to go?
Eugene's he's gonna stick by Lorelei.
Okay. And what about Pistol?
Ooh, I think Pistol would side with Blaine.
Faith, you're the deciding vote. To the bog or to the witch's shack?
Well,
No pressure.
right, no pressure. Well, I think he said this ritual was supposed to take place at the bog.
Yes.
So I think maybe we don't want to, wait for that to happen, and maybe we should, stop that while we still.
Because
have
you've
a
already
chance.
seen what this
Right.
creature tried to do to you. What if it gets worse?
Right. So, yeah, I think I would side with my twin brother and Blaine.
All right. Well, if that's what y'all kids want to do, we'll follow you.
Let me take us to the bog. Rich smells of musk and earth choke the spring air as smoke from burning peat pyres diffuses the day's light into a waning orange pall. All detail is lost to the smog. Only dark shapes in the distance loom out of the smoke as you move forward. Slowly, the eerie landscape of the bogs will reveal itself as you make it to the water's edge. Two bonfires illuminate a small, high place amongst the dead moss and stagnant water. A figure moves between the fires, feeding the billowing smoke that pours off them into the air. It's nearing night, and you see the telltale shape of the old man, of Carson Taft, feeding them fires.
Oh.
Let me pull some tokens out here for us. The black water is numbingly cold, with masses of dead moss, leaves, roots, and mud enveloping the feet and legs of anyone if you're to make your way through the bogs to the area where Carson is standing. It seems to be he's building something, some sort of shrine, weaving thin branches together. He's made a massive wreath out of a patch of raised ground. Small stools and upturned crates sit inside, covered in candles and offerings of wildflowers. At either side of this huge circle, you see the two bonfires filling the air with musty peat smoke, as though beckoning someone to arrive. Do you want to take the journey through the bog to reach your father?
Is he within yelling distance?
With the sound of the fires would make it difficult. Give me...
Oh.
You could try. You holler out, "Paul, Paul," but he does not turn to look. But you can see his hunched shape, and you know that it's him.
Okay.
All right. Well,
We did
We're
come
here.
here to stop the ritual, so
We're here. Might as well get closer. Eugene, he says,
Right.
Pistol, you and me in the front. Ladies, you get behind us, and Blaine, you bring up the rear. Let's see what this old fool's getting into.
Yeah, you got it, brother.
Eugene and Pistol, as you lead, give me a dexterity roll. As the ground is uneven below the water, and it's getting dark, and you're trudging through this cold bog.
Oh, darn. Well, I will maybe push that.
Oh, yeah, that's terrible.
Oh, boy.
Oh, God.
Well, that's even worse.
oh,
So, as you are stumbling, Pistol, you feel something wrap around your foot. And it begins to pull you down into the mud. Give me a strength roll.
Can I possibly see that this is happening as we're trudging forward and give him a hand?
Yeah, it looks like his foot's stuck in the mud, but then you see a root beginning to wrap up and around his leg. He pulls it free from the root, but Pistol, give me a sanity roll, please.
Fair. Oh,
You will lose 1 point
Very
of
nice.
sanity. Now, as the women begin to cross the bog, the roots and various weeds seem to grasp at your legs as you walk through. I'll need a dexterity roll from Faith and Lorelei.
alright.
Oh, Faith. You want to push that, Faith?
Yeah, I'll push that.
nice.
There we go.
Much better.
And Blaine, bringing up the rear. Give me a dexterity roll.
9.
Nice. As you reach the shrine, you see Carson sit down. He looks like he's breathing heavy. He turns his face to you, and you see his grime-covered face, that smile that has greeted you from the beginning of your life until now. He sits and waits, wiping perspiration from his forehead. He's holding something in his left hand. It looks almost like a rib bone sharpened on one end. He's confused as to why you're here. Oh, my children, what are you doing here? Why'd you come?
What are you doing out here, you damned old fool?
I have to tell you something. Your ma, Annabelle, she ain't your ma. My first wife, Sadie. We tried to have children. We got into a fight. We come out here. She fell and broke her neck. I hid her body out here in the bog. Pretended she got lost. She's never found. But I feel the guilt, and I come out here every year at this time. And when I do, I leave an offering for Sadie. I'm getting old. I can't keep doing these offerings. I recruited Jenny, the old wood witch, to come out here and take care of it for me. She run into a mess of trouble with that skinwalker. He's been chasing me. He's a tormentor for dark things buried in these mountains. He wants bodies for a host. But I come out here to end it. To end Sadie. To end your mother. It's time. And he turns and faces the fires.
Well, how can we help you with that, old man?
I have called her. She will arrive. I don't know if I've the strength to do this. I cannot ask you to pay the price for my sins. But if this don't happen, the curse will continue. The Taft family must be rid of this. And out in the gloom of the smoke-bound bog, you see a form begin to appear and move towards the back of Carson's small shrine. This form is monstrous, growing and changing in the bog, filled with rot and death. She is a rotted husk of putrid mush and tangled roots, veins, and bones, held together in stretched skin, much like Jack was, corrupted by dark magics. I believe I have a picture here. Let me put this token out here. I'll post a picture.
Oh my.
Paul, what's the curse?
You will see it now. Within that knot of roots, a newborn grows. Each year she offers it up to me. And you see this thing vomit up a babe in a gelatinous sack of brown mucus, disgorging this newborn child near the shrine. Everyone give me a sanity roll.
Oof.
Fair.
Oh,
Well, shit.
Oh boy.
Mostly failures.
So those that pass, which is Lorelei and Blaine, you will lose 1 point of sanity.
Woohoo.
For those that failed, you will lose 1 point of sanity. So Faith has 1 left. But Faith, you have underlying insanity from your temporary bout of insanity. So you're not indefinitely insane, but you will have another bout of madness. Let me roll to see what Faith does upon seeing this baby disgorged from this mass of putrescence. Let's see what we got on the table here. Faint. You faint and fall down into the swamp.
Oh no.
Does someone catch her? Because the water is knee-high here.
I think Blaine
I
would be
reach
quick
out.
to catch her.
So Blaine and Eugene both reach out, pull her up from the swamp. She is unconscious.
Oh.
Let me
Yeah.
just mark that on.
It was a dilemma.
Eugene sort of picks her up and takes her into his arms.
Let me get this here. Unconscious.
Lorelei just kind of looks in horror and is like, "Well, how are we supposed to stop this?"
I don't suppose shooting it's gonna do.
I don't think so.
You children don't understand. This is how you were born too. I took you. Annabelle and I raised you. You were the best of the bunch. But killing her will end the cycle that I started, cutting off the source of the siblings. She can be slain, but she requires an item I requested from a wise woman, a brooch made of horn, and one of these, and he holds up his rib bone knife. I've not the strength to wield it. And he looks at all of you. I cannot strike her down. I cannot ask family to do this, but it must be blood. He holds out the knife to Eugene, but then pulls it back. It must be blood. And he looks at Blaine, Lorelei, and Pistol, offering this rib bone knife. And now, for the first time, you see a big bloody wound on his side, as though that rib bone has been taken from his right side.
Yeah.
What did you do?
Jenny helped me. She made this weapon.
It has to be that weapon.
This is the best way. This is how it's always been done.
I guess Pistol would probably take it. Oh, he's got the rifle though. Maybe he passes that off to somebody. If it has to be the dagger.
Don't you worry, Pistol. I will take care of this.
So Pistol,
You are the eldest.
That brooch that you are wearing begins to heat up as Sadie gets closer. All right, Blaine, you got the rib bone dagger.
Also, maybe the dagger works against it, kind of like the brooch. The brooch allows you to damage it with normal means. Maybe the dagger is the same thing. I don't know if it's got a description.
And since you have made that discovery, I'm going to reveal that text on the horn brooch, that it will allow anyone holding it to harm Skincrawler or Sadie with normal means.
Oh, yeah, sorry. It said that since you gave it to me.
Oh, yeah, nice. Let me pull us all into a combat. The baby is squirming on the ground in that sack of mucus. It is an abomination, but it is still a child. Let me begin combat. Combat will go in order of dexterity. First up is Faith. You are unconscious. You will be unconscious for, let me see how many rounds.
Uh-oh.
Oh, man.
4 rounds. So you will need at least one person to hold you up for 4 rounds. So Faith, you just kind of dangle there.
Nice.
Who is holding Faith?
I believe I was the one that reached out and picked her up.
Perfect. So Eugene, it is your turn. Do you set her down? Do you keep hold of her? What is your action?
Well, I look down on the ground. Is there any solid ground to put her on?
There is near the shrine. You'd have to lay her on the grass of the shrine.
Oh.
Not too big of a fan of that.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Almost like an altar.
Yeah, there's roots under that grass.
Yeah, I'm kind of one-handed while I'm...
There are some
Holding her up.
stools and some crates. You could probably set her on a stool, but maybe prop her up against something. That would take your turn if you want to do that.
Yeah, I'll try to scrounge together what I can to sort of be able to lay her down in a safer spot.
So Carson will actually come over and help you to take her. I am too weak to fight her, and I cannot do what I must do. I will take care of my own. And he puts his arms around Faith. Lorelei,
All right.
your turn.
Well, she doesn't have either of the weapons.
Now that Blaine has the dagger, he'll set down that rifle he took.
You want
If Lorelei wanted
to
to
toss it
take
to Lorelei?
that. Sure.
I'll put a rifle. It's got 1 round in it, but I'll put it in your inventory. Let me put 1 bullet in it. There we go. You got 1 shot, Lorelei, if you want to take it.
Probably shouldn't take it yet. I don't know if it would hold her back. I'll just hold on to the rifle for now.
Okay. Pistol.
Well, yeah, I guess I felt this brooch heat up once before, and I knew what to do. I gotta Say a small prayer and take a shot. Oh, that was almost 0-0.
Ooh. You've got precious few rounds, and that one misses as you struggle against the idea of firing upon what Carson says is your own mother. Blaine, you're up next.
I think I'm gonna wait back here and just have the dagger ready and see if this creature approaches.
It does. Okay. It goes after Pistol.
Fair.
Hmm.
You can dodge or fight back.
Ooh. All right, I'll give it a fight back.
Okay.
I got a knife in my boot.
And you're wearing the brooch, right?
I am.
Go ahead and roll damage.
It says I lack permission.
Oh, I'll do it for you. There we go. And she seems to feel the sting of that knife. It damages her, and that brooch begins to burn with a righteous fire. We go next to Carson. He's holding up Faith and begins to weep. No, Sadie, I'm sorry. I'm sorry this had to happen. We go back to Faith. You are still unconscious. Mercifully, Eugene, your hands are free.
All right, so take a quick look around at what I got, and I'll look at this wooden plank I've got in my hand. I'll tear a rag off the bottom of my shirt, wrap it around this plank, and some old coal miner knowledge. I'll take my mining lantern, take the carbide striker and the fuel out of it, douse it onto the cloth, and light it on fire.
I love it. Absolutely.
Nice.
You get a blaze roaring from this rag.
I'll take a swing at
That's Sadie,
this monstrosity.
your mother-in-law.
Yeah.
Everyone's fantasy about killing your mother-in-law.
Oh, that is terrible.
So, you swish the flames, and Sadie recoils slightly from it, but it seems as though that has given her some measure of fear.
Actually, I've got enough luck.
You want to
To
burn
make
that
it.
luck? Yeah, let's do it.
It is one shot.
It is. So yeah, I'll burn that luck.
Okay. Give me, let's see. That'll be 1d4 plus another 1d4. So you can roll 2d4 down at the bottom of the chat bar. There's the pictures of the dice. You can click on the d4 twice and hit roll, or just type /R space 2d4 and then roll it. 4 points of damage. Nice. Excellent. Lorelai.
Yeah, I think she's gonna kind of move in front of her family and kind of be by pistol. And I guess she'll take the shot with the rifle.
Okay, give me a shot.
Alright. You just click on it?
So in
Oh, sure.
the chat bar now, does it show roll firearms, rifle, shotgun? If not,
Yes.
we'll let you click on that. There.
Oh, yeah.
There
There we go. Sorry.
Oh, nice. Okay, roll damage.
Oh, nice.
You are not wearing the horn brooch, correct?
No, I'm not.
That shot strikes dead center. She takes no effect.
Should have gotten the necklace.
But well done. That was an excellent shot there.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Let's go to Pistol. You're up next. You do
Yeah,
have
am
the
I-
horn brooch.
Yeah, am I still grappling with this thing, or could I theoretically just shoot
No,
it?
you could shoot. You're point blank.
All right. Well, damn, Lorelai, I didn't know you had it in you.
I've been practicing.
56 or 56?
Oh, that's like one. No, I have 45. Never mind.
Well, do you want?
Well, I could luck
I guess
that.
good
Yeah.
luck, yeah.
Wait, yeah, that's 56. So that's 11.
Yep.
Yeah, I will spend that happily.
Okay. And your pistol or your rifle does 2d6 plus 4. Do you want to roll that?
Correct. Yeah. All right.
Nice.
Oh wait, I just did. Wait, is D4 right? Or is it just plus 4 or
just
5?
plus 4, so it should be.
Oh,
but then
okay.
you still rolled a 4, so it was 11.
Well, so it doesn't matter, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah, okay. Whoops, I'm lowballing myself then.
As the round comes out of the rifle, it takes on a brilliant white light. That horn brooch, you feel the heat drawn out of it as it seems to transfer itself into the round. As it strikes your mother, you see the wound strike true, and black tarry ooze begins to drip from a wound in her chest. And she looks around at her children, at her husband, at this terrible sense of betrayal. Blaine, your turn.
I will rush up to the creature, and the slash left by Pistol's knife. I'm going to take my last blasting cap and
Oh, goodness.
put it in there, and then ram it in with the bone rib dagger.
Okay. Give me a fighting brawl roll,
Yeah.
or use the bone rib weapon. Do you
I'll
want to
spend
burn
24 luck.
Okay. there we
Yeah,
go.
that's pretty close actually.
All right. She's gonna fight back. Oops, that targeted pistol, but that should have been Blaine. Oh, and it's a hard success, which beats your success. You get the blasting cap in there, but you're not able to strike it with the bone knife. But she does hit you for... what's your strength?
80.
80, okay. She grabs you and begins to pull you down into the water. Give me a sanity roll.
Nice.
You lose 1 point of sanity as she begins to drown you, to take you back into the swamp from where you were born. So that blasting cap is still inside of her. Who is next? It is Sadie's turn. She uses her roots with blistering speed to claim an area of 10 feet. This requires no roll to hit, filling the area with a briar-like mess of roots and black veins that burst out of the ground. Anyone in the area must make a hard dodge roll or be stuck in the briar patch. That's going to be Eugene, Blaine, Pistol, and Lorelei. Make a dodge roll.
Is she already grappling with me, though?
She is grappling with you. Yeah, so you actually don't need to make one.
Oh,
Nicely done.
Oh,
just rolled a crit.
Brutal.
so Lorelei and Pistol, you are now stuck in the briar patch, but Eugene manages to leap away from those branches. He's back by Carson and Faith. On the next round, you'll need to make a strength roll or be dragged into the bog. Carson, he is up next. He is just weeping at seeing what's happening to his children. And he holds Faith close, and she begins to flutter her eyes as she regains consciousness. Faith, you can act.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't really have any weapons.
So, there is a blasting cap. You can see it shining in her chest where it was placed. There are all manner of stones and rocks around here. You could throw something at her if you want. You also have in your items, you have a carved stone on a leather strip. This was a token given to you by someone, and you never thought much of it, but maybe this is why you've been carrying it all these years.
Yeah, that seems like a good idea. I guess I'll throw that at her.
Okay, give me a fighting throw roll.
Oh, nice.
Oh. She will try to dodge that. So she needs to get...
Oh.
Man, she needed a 50. She got a 51. Okay. You hit the blasting cap. Tell me how this explosion takes out Sadie.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
wow, really?
That's cinematic. Nice.
Nice.
Mm.
So,
Tell me about this. First, tell me about this carved
Yeah.
stone, where you got it, what it means, and how you do this.
yeah, so I start to regain consciousness, and I flutter open my eyes. I kind of step back out of my father's arms, and I see this Sadie. She's got all of my siblings, most of them in a hold with the brambles, and I see this blasting cap in her chest, and I pull out this necklace that was given to me by my father as a gift for him trying to make amends for basically sending away me and my twin brother to live with my older sister and her husband. And I hold it in my hands and I look at it, and then just with pure rage I throw it at Sadie, and it hits against that blasting cap and just blows pieces of her everywhere.
All of the roots that are grabbing your siblings begin to tremble and break under the strain, receding back into the swamp from whence they came. You see this dark cloud of insects rise up from the patch of swamp that was once your mother, and that cloud of insects drifts off in the breeze, seeking a new home, but being banished forever from this place. You hear the cry of a baby down on the grass near this shrine as it pulls itself from that mucus sac. What do you do with the baby, Faith?
No, I don't want to touch it. I'll step back from the scene and let someone else handle that.
Lorelei, you see this child on the ground. It looks normal in every way. One of the fortunate ones, much like yourself, your brother Blaine, your brother Pistol, and your sister Faith.
Lorelei runs up to the baby and grabs it, and just kind of starts crying.
And as you're kneeling there in the swamp holding this baby, your husband kneels down next to you, his arm around you. Pistol goes and hugs Faith. Blaine helps his father to his feet, looks the old man in the eyes, and embraces him in a hug. And the scene fades to black. And that is where the adventure ends.
Wow.
Incredible.
I hope everyone had just as much fun running that as, or playing that as I had fun running that. What I like to do is I like to do like a 1 year epilogue. So 1 year from now, where is Blaine?
He probably went back to work at the coal mine, I'd imagine.
And where is Lorelei?
Lorelei is happily at home with the baby
With the
she
baby.
always wanted.
Exactly. Yeah. What about Eugene? And don't say you're with Nora.
Boo.
Eugene is probably back to work at the Baxter mine.
Nice.
Back to work as the foreman, trying to work to provide for his family, his new child.
Have you accepted this child?
I think Eugene probably accepts it.
Or is
As far as he accepts the fact that his wife was born through supernatural
born
means.
this way?
Swamp baby.
What about Pistol? Where are you?
Yeah, well, I think Pistol decides that somebody has to look after the old man, and I think under the guise of that, maybe he learns the old man's business as well.
Nice. That's always been the kind of your long-term plan. And what about Faith?
Well, Faith has packed up and moved out from Lorelei and Eugene's home, and she showed up unannounced at her brother Blaine's place, and she wants to move in with Blaine. She doesn't want to be with Lorelei and Eugene anymore.
And Blaine, how do you feel about that?
Well, I'd imagine Blaine values family above everything, so he'd probably welcome it.
It's a spring day when you receive notice that Carson has finally passed. And a sense of peace falls over each and every one of you as you know that his trial is finally at an end. And you are grateful that he was able to put an end to the curse of the Taft family before such times. You still wonder what happened with those children who you boxed up in that cave. Hopefully you went and let them out at some point. But if not, out of sight, out of mind. And that's where we end it. Any dying, pressing questions about the adventure? You know, what was this? Why did we do that? What did we miss? Anything like that?
I want to know what was in the hut.
Yeah, that was my one question.
The witch's hut?
Yeah.
So, in fact, I'll take you there. You could have gone to the old shack in the
I actually
woods.
wanted to go to the hut, but I was like, Pistol would resentfully go against what Lorelei wanted. That was my deciding character.
Oh,
Yeah,
what did
that
I
was
do?
kind of the same
It
with
was messed
me.
up.
So in here, the whole area is warded. There are jars with iron nails in them around the place, making a perimeter. Jack will not approach. He cannot approach because of those wards. And that's one way that had you gone there first, you could find out maybe Jack isn't what he seems to be. Once you're here, Ginny is suspicious of you, but if you prove who you are, she will help you to the best of her ability. She is actually very helpful. Jack is very spiteful and bitter, will try to turn you against Ginny. Inside, she's got a whole bunch of different protective amulets, wards, things like that. She will. Jack, at this point, if he's still there, he will try to draw one of you away, and it probably would have been Faith. She's the only one that failed her willpower roll when I had everyone make one, so that's why he targeted her. So he probably would have kind of pressed on Faith to eventually take her over and become Faith. But Ginny would plead with you to help your father. He would tell you that he is attempting to right a past wrong and to kill an old sin, and that he isn't well and needs his family to help him, that he is lost in the bogs, and that she will help you by making more of those rib bone knives. And she can do it with up to 2 of you. She will actually do a little surgery in her kitchen and remove a rib bone. You'll lose some sanity, you'll lose some hit points, but you'll end up with a weapon that can damage the creature. The weapon does 1d4 against anything, but against the creature, if it's from the same bloodline, it will take 1d8 damage and can actually do damage. So the funny thing is, if Eugene volunteers, his rib bone doesn't work because he's not blood. And so you find that out at the end. But essentially, she is there to help and can give you a weapon that can harm Sadie. But turns out you didn't need it. Otherwise, you did everything in here. I thought for sure Faith was a goner. I thought there's no way she survives against
That
this.
scene was incredible.
Yeah,
I know.
And he didn't lie at all to Eugene. He said, Faith is marked and they're coming to take her over. But it was him. So, any other questions about the game, the adventure? Awesome. Well, I will get this video posted tonight. I'll post the link in the Discord thread, and I'll post it as soon as I start to upload it, but it'll take an hour or 2 to upload and to render, but that way you'll have the link available. You will probably get a notice from StartPlaying to leave me a review if you haven't already. I appreciate those. That helps me to get noticed by more people. If you can give me a 5-star review, that's fantastic. If you cannot, please let me know how I can improve. I would be happy to try and do what I do a little bit better. I've got a bunch of other games coming up. I run other Call of Cthulhu games. I've got some free ones. I do 3 free games, the Necropolis, Deadlight, and the Lightless Beacon. And then I've got some Vaesen, which is like Call of Cthulhu, but in 19th century Scandinavia. I got 2 of those games coming up in the next couple of weeks. I run Mothership, which is like a science fiction Call of Cthulhu. It's a very similar rule set. In fact, it's percentile, roll under sort of game. I've got a couple of those coming up, and then I run Dragonbane and what else? Oh, Old Gods of Appalachia. I got one of those coming up, which would be the Cipher system, which is a really easy system to pick up and learn. So if you would like to play any other games with me, I would be honored to play with all of you all again. I had a great time. You were all fantastic, did a great job, and I hope I definitely get to see you around. You're welcome to stick around on the forum. I'll post whatever new games I might be running. Some of them tend to fill up really fast, so that's a good way to get in those games if it's something that you want to play. And hopefully I'll get something up there that you would enjoy joining me with.